Heat to harden the materials, or heat to soften them. Let's start with bending a sheet. Heat it along the line where you bend it and cool it in shape in a jig. Or heat the sheet all over and you can give it curvature. Or stretch it by blowing it into a dome with compressed air. Clamp it onto a vacuum box and you can draw it into shape with vacuum. That's how baths are made from Perspex. The heat-softened sheet is drawn by vacuum into a mould the shape of a bath. The lines were put on to show up the curvature. But for many shapings, simple bending or air pressure alone can't produce the required curvature, and press tools are used. Simple hand clamps, fly presses, or hydraulic presses. For instance, to make this tray, a skeleton tool is pressed into place with hand clamps. There are tools made of rubber, which will distort under pressure so as to fill awkward-shaped moulds. Power tools to assist vacuum shapings. Here's another way of making a bath, a more complicated way, but cheaper, because you can use thinner Perspex. With powdered raw materials, the heat is required to enable them to fuse to the solid state. PVC mixed with pigments and additives can be worked on hot steel rollers. After a time, its consistency becomes rather like dough, and it's ready for shaping into its final form. When it cools, it will go hard again. To make it into sheet, we use a machine called a calendar. The PVC is squeezed between large heated steel rollers, forming a sheet which is trimmed and reeled up. This method is used for making floor tiles and curtains, raincoats, handbags and upholstery. There's another way of handling the same material, PVC, for making more complicated shapes. The shape is obtained first, and the heating comes afterwards. The PVC powder is stirred with a liquid called a plasticizer, giving a treacle-like mixture, PVC paste. First, the object to be treated, a cotton glove, is coated with the paste. To do this, the glove is very slowly dipped into the viscous liquid and even more slowly drawn out, so that a smooth coating is obtained. When the excess paste has run off, the glove is put into an oven where the heat turns the sticky paste into a flexible solid. There's another class of powdered raw materials, the thermosetting products, which will set hard when heated. And once they've been heated, they're set for good. Because thermosetting powders harden in this way, the mouldings can be taken out while still hot. The brightly coloured moulding powders, based on urea formaldehyde, are typical of the thermosetting class of plastics. These pamphlet boxes, for instance, were made by compressing the moulding powder in a heated mould. A heated hydraulic ram is brought down and pressure is applied. It's difficult to measure out exactly the required quantity of powder, and it's usual in compression moulding to put in a little too much to make sure the mould is completely filled. The excess spills out, but is easily cleaned off. In production, all the operations of moulding can be done automatically. Bottle caps are produced in enormous numbers from thermosetting moulding powders. Because they're threaded, they have to be unscrewed to remove them from the mould. Bottle caps, toilet seats, door handles, household goods of all kinds, and perhaps best known of all, the post office telephone, which was in service for over a quarter of a century.